us this afternoon.
Pleasure.
So tell me, what made you decide that this was something that you had to do all those years ago?
Well, in order to understand what I did in terms of founding Project Redirect, I would have to look at my background. I was an English teacher at the high school level. I taught in Weequahic High School primarily for approximately 10 years. And I would just like to do a shout out to the class of 84 and 85. And after getting my master's degree in counseling and student personnel, I became a school counselor. And I was in several different schools in Newark. My last school was South 17th Street School. And as a counselor in that school, I saw many needs that the children were having and their families were having that the school district were not solving. There was undereducation, low performance, there was abuse, and a lot of children were not proficient in academic areas. Parents needed help, and there definitely was a need for counseling. When I was a school counselor, you had a load of 500 students to one counselor. So you know you're very limited in what you can do. Therefore, I researched for several years and came up with a platform to start Project Redirect, where I became holistic and supplemental and comprehensive, and I included all of the things that were missing from the Newark Public Schools.
And Project Redirect really provides these services. They're not after school, they're weekends and sometimes during the summer, right? What kinds of programs are you able to offer these students specifically?
Sure, we have a supplemental education program that is both holistic and comprehension. We strengthen the academic areas in math and literature. We have an extensive African American and African curriculum. We have social skills development. We do counseling, family counseling, as well as individual counseling. We have an intern program for our youngsters between the ages of 14 and 19 who want to learn job skills. We have volunteer opportunities. We have parent engagements, and we have community advocacy for children and families.
Okay, so when you say holistic, you mean holistic.
Yeah, exactly.
But and what's interesting about your program, it's not just the students, you also engage the parents.
Exactly. We engage the parent and we engage the community. And a lot of times that is what's missing. So engage the child from their academic and their emotional, of course their emotional intelligence, but of course it's counseling. So that makes us a total child. And we have to include the parents, and then we have to include the community at large. And that's what our program does.
All right, so they say it takes a village, and you are covering that village.
Exactly, that's important.
Yeah. Christian, I want to bring you into the conversation. Now, you started as a student in the program.
Yes.
And now you're a program director.
Yes, ma'am.
You've gone to college, you've gotten advanced degrees. What did this program give you as a student that made you say, you know, once you were an adult, a successful adult, say, I want to come back and be a part of giving this to some other students?
Yeah, well, pretty much that Project Redirect is a grassroots organization, as a nonprofit. So during my time at the EY2K program, I wanted to continue to service my community as well as the students there. As Ms. Berry said already, there's a need for services for students as well as the families. So just me experiencing the opportunities that Project Redirect gave it to me, I feel it was necessary for me to give back.
Well, what did that program give to you as a student that you weren't getting somewhere else? I mean, and I don't really mean, you know, what the name of the program, but what emotionally, I guess, and psychologically, the benefits that you got from this program that you saw and you realized and you were able to flourish that you weren't getting before you became involved.
Well, definitely it challenged me academically. The program has an intensive academic curriculum that helped me in all different areas within my coursework, and as well as the opportunities for me to be a part of the internship program, as well as starting out as an assistant teacher. I incorporated good leadership skills, ethical leadership skills, which also helped me in different sectors, even outside the program when I started to pursue professional areas as well.
Now, when I introduced you, I talked a little, because this April through June is Child Abuse Awareness. Those 3 months, this is an issue that, not just in our communities, but it's an issue in other communities. Children Are a Gift is the awareness campaign for this year. Just talk to me a little bit about what you are able to teach parents and children about child abuse so that you end the cycle, don't repeat the cycle, or you can prevent it from even becoming an issue.
Well, April, I can remember it's April as Natural Child Abuse Prevention Month. And in our program, we teach young people to be empowered to say no, to be empowered to tell, to understand that my body belongs to me. We give them books and pamphlets, we do skits, we have seminars, and we teach young people there's safe touch, there's bad touch. You have to tell somebody when somebody is bothering you. You don't have to be afraid. You can come to somebody. We talk about teachers. We talk about principals. We talk about telling other adults and I said, come and tell Miss Berry. I'm an adult. I'll listen, I'll hear. So a lot of the pamphlets, a lot of books that we give out, it teaches young people what are the safe parts of their body, what's unsafe, the private areas, and just to teach young people that they are empowered to say no. A lot of children don't realize that with their bodies, they have the power to say no. They have the power to run away. They have the power to tell. And that's what a lot of people who are hurting children, that's what they thrive on. That children will not say anything, that they will hold their head down, that they'll be afraid, that they will not be empowered to speak out. And that's the same thing we talk to parents about. We talk to parents about listening to your children, teaching your children the same things we teach them, to reinforce what we teach them. We teach our parents to look for the signs of child abuse, neglect, physical abuse, mental abuse, maltreatment. And we teach our parents that. We have seminars and things that we teach our parents in that regard. And we have a fantastic child abuse prevention public awareness campaign where we go into, so for example, we went to McDonald's on several occasions. We passed out information in Irvington. One of our board members, Jessica Quintana, she owns a McDonald's. She brings our children in, she entertains them, they do face painting, they do child abuse activities, but at the same time we pass out material to parents and to the community at large. We have people who go out in the community and they pass out information that will help parents to be aware of child abuse prevention. What's interesting with that, we also take this program down to Middlesex County, New Jersey. So this program has been throughout New Jersey. We have gone to churches, we have been in stores, and we pass out the information. And as you said, this is a topic that so many people are interested in, that when we go down to other areas, the population, regardless of race, regardless of socioeconomic level, they are very interested in the topic. They engage me, they counsel me, and they want information about child abuse prevention.
Do you find that people have questions about what is crossing the line? You know, whether or not the difference between discipline and abuse. Do you find yourself, you know, having to explain that, or people willing to, you know, have that conversation?
All the time we have to explain that, because in certain populations, the first thing they want to ask me, are you saying I can't spank my child? That's the first thing that people have to say, and I have to say to them, well, we have to explore other methods. There are other methods that you can use in terms of, you don't have to just always spank, you don't even have to always punish. There are other methods you can use to talk to your children and have more effective communication. So we start talking about more effective communication. And yes, there's a thin line to be spanking, because, you know, when you start abuse is, which I've seen, knocking kids down the stairs, beating them with buckles in their face, putting out cigarettes on them. These are abuse. So
those are obvious.
These are obvious abuse. We have to talk to parents. And what I tell all my parents, you never want to discipline your children when you've had a stressful day, when you had a hard day on the job, when you come home, when you want a peace and quiet, and here comes Johnny with a bad report card. I always tell my parents, take a deep breath, send Johnny to his room, and calm down before you implement any type of punishment or discipline. And that seems to help a lot of them.
And Christian, I wanted to ask you, one of the great things about the program is that you're dealing with, you've got programs and projects in place to deal with students at all ages. For example, your Simba 2 program is for young men, and then your NIA project, young girls ages 9 to 14. Just talk to me a little bit about each of those programs and how they, you know, they focus on young men and young women at that age, which is a crazy age.
Yes, it is. It is. And I'm glad you brought that up, Ms. Bookman, because with these specific type of programs, as Ms. Berry said, we focus a lot on academics. So with these specific programs, I would like to take an approach of to look at the whole the psychosocial dynamic of our students, as far as helping them with their socialization skills, increasing their emotional intelligence, and that was designed specifically for Simba. There have been a lot of the young males there who need male role models there, and I felt as a program director and as a young man myself, and also been in their position before, it was necessary for me to kind of facilitate therapy groups with them, as well as individual one-on-one. And recently, I became a licensed social worker, so I'm going to add on a mental health awareness into our program, specifically with the Simba as well as Nia as well.
All right.
Can I add to that, please?
Yes.
If you don't mind? When young children become teenagers, they have some of the similar problems, and they have some problems that are very different. And that's what we call our gender-based programs, and that's why we start to analyze our young men, and that's why we have our Simba programs. We can deal with specific issues that are germane to males, and our NIA program are specific incidents that are germane to young women.
Okay. All right. Now, your website, Project Redirect NJ25, right?
.org.
.org. And on the website, we can find information
Yes.
about the specific programs that you offer and when they're available. We said the weekends and then often in the summer because you partner. Financially, where do you get your support?
Well, that's a good question too. We want to give a special shout out to NJEA, to PSE&G, to PNC Bank, to AFT. So many people they fund us. We get funding from people. We have people who just specifically are interested in our STEM initiative. So we get our funding. We do major events every year, and then we have other banks and foundations that do fund us.
Okay. Thank you both for being with us this afternoon, and keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's important work, and there are probably so many children and families that need your service, so thank you for doing that.
And thank you for having us.
Thank you for the
It's
opportunity.
our pleasure. Still to come on Here and Now, separating fable from fact when it comes to the health of expectant moms and babies. Stay with us.